Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. I think as I mentioned in a previous video, we've seen a change in the weather now. It's starting to get a little bit chillier at night. We're getting rain on an evening, and it's time to start thinking about the next breeding season. Last year I moved into this snake room in about December, which was actually the middle of the time that I would be pairing up snakes, and that obviously disrupted a little bit my breeding season. Some of the snakes that should have laid didn't go on to lay, and some of the snakes laid late. Some of the snakes laid within days of when they laid last year too, so definitely some disruption there. What I'm going to talk about now is what I'm calling the rhythm of the room. For those of us who keep lots of snakes, I'm often asked about the benefits of a breeding season as opposed to spreading breeding throughout the year. One of the benefits of getting all your snakes to breed together is a simple logistic one. It's easier to manage. All your snakes are doing the same thing at the same time. But one of the things that I think larger breeders appreciate, or they do without even thinking about it, is when you breed all your snakes together, the snakes are all in this confined room, all in their tubs, and they know exactly what's going on based on the scents and the smells that they perceive in their tubs. And once you start the breeding season, the snakes all smell it, and the room gets in sync, and all the snakes get into breeding mode all together. And that's a benefit that often people don't think about when they're breeding snakes. Once you start pairing snakes, the pheromones in the air spread throughout the room, and the whole room goes into breeding mode. All your snakes get in sync, and your productivity levels and the number of females that go on to lay will be much higher than it otherwise would be. So we're going to talk today about normally I would pair my snakes in November, but I have 4 snakes that I'm going to show you. Of course, we're going to show some snakes in the video. It'd be pretty boring if we didn't. So we're going to have a look at 4 females that were of age this breeding season. They were paired, and they didn't go on to breed. A couple of the females got very chunky and went into bowl hugging, and they definitely started to build, but they didn't go on to lay. Those snakes now are sitting in their tubs, fat and happy, and they're ready to go right now. So because the seasons have changed and we're starting to get a little bit of cooling, I would normally start pairing my snakes next month. Some of the females that laid late are not yet back in condition. So we'll pair these 4 initial snakes, and that should kickstart the room into breeding mode. So all the other females will be able to smell what's going on, the other males will smell what's going on, and everything should switch on and get into high gear for breeding next month when I pair up the bulk of my snakes. So let's take a look at those 4 snakes and show you what sort of condition they're in, and we'll get an early start on the breeding season. The point being, let's kickstart breeding mode in the room, and let's use the rhythm of the room to generate greater success rate. This is a spinner female, which is a pinstripe spider. Again, she got bred last year, but didn't go on to lay eggs. She is in very good condition. She's been eating extremely well. So this is another female that we're going to use this year to kickstart the room into gear. This will be an early breeder which I can pair up this month, and she's going to go to a Super Pastel Leopard Mojave male, or Scorch male, who's in shed at the moment. But as soon as he comes out to shed, we can pair them up. I want leopard into my pinstripes and my spiders, so this is a good way to get it. And because he's Super Pastel, we should be getting lemon blasts and bumblebees, some with leopard, some without, which will be awesome combinations. So that will help to further some of my projects, and we'll get a very early start on the breeding season with this girl. So that's a spinner female. Another girl that I'd hoped was going to go this year but didn't is my pied female. You can see she is quite thick. She's about 1700 grams now. She's been eating really well, and again she was bred once last year to my pastel pied male, and they did lock once, but then she showed no further interest. So we're going to try her again this month, get her started again and see if we can get a clutch from her in 2020. So this is my pied female. She doesn't want to sit still for the camera. Lovely girl, this one. Great coloration down the sides. She is in very good condition, nice thick body, and she's a fairly low white example, high pattern. You can see that only the last quarter of her body is white, but she does have the high white sides, so I do like the low white pieds. She won't sit still now. So that's another girl that we're going to get a head start on this season and breed in the next couple of weeks. This big girl here is a Pastel Vanilla Mojave. She won't keep still. She's very close to 2 kilos and she should have gone last year. She was bred several times, but she regressed. But she's been eating very well since then, and she's in very good condition, so we'll get an early start with this girl as well. And my plan for this girl is to put her to the spot nose pastel yellow belly after clutch 2 this year that produced those really nice vanilla spot nose and yellow belly spot nose combinations. They were het for clown, but we can use this girl to produce pretty much the same combinations that are not het for clown. And we'll get a look and see what that looks like. So we'll pair this Pastel Vanilla Mojave to the Pastel Spot Nose Yellow Belly Male, and again we'll get a head start. We'll use her to kickstart the room into breeding mode, and we'll pair her up later this month. So that's the Pastel Mojave Vanilla. Beautiful snake. She's holding her collar really well, even though she is nearly 2 kilos in weight now, and this is her, she's 3 years old. Beautiful snake. And the final snake that I'm going to use out of the 4 is this normal female. I have 2 of those, and one of them laid within days of when she laid last year. This girl laid in 2018, but she did not lay for me in 2019, and she's ready to go right now. I've got a leopard pastel male lined up for her. I want to get more leopard into my collection. This is a good way of doing it. Always keep your normal so that you can separate out the genes. So this girl is 2 kilos and she's 4 years old now, and she is also ready to go. So we can use her in the kickstart process to get the room into gear, use the rhythm of the room to get all the snakes kicked into gear and ready for the 2020 breeding season. So that's the 4th girl. She's a normal. So here we are, just a few days later. We've been cooling the room, dropped it by a couple of degrees. Humidity stayed high, and I've started pairing snakes. The green tags on the tubs mean that they are being paired. This is my normal female to my Super Pastel Leopard Mojave or Scorch male. They were introduced this morning, no lock yet. And this is my pied female to my Pastel Pied male. Again, you'll see no lock there yet. And this is my Pastel Vanilla Mojave and my Pastel Spot Nose Yellow Belly male. No lock there yet, but they are aligned, so I think this is looking quite hopeful. First introduction of the season, and just the simple act of putting males in with females gets them switched on. So even if we don't observe a lock, we just keep pairing up every month. So that's my first pairing for the 2020 season. These are all females that didn't breed for me this year, and we're getting a jump start on the season. So we paired these up early. We'll continue to cool, and the bulk of my snakes will be paired up in the next couple of months. November through to December is the main pairing season. So here we go. We start all over again. Seems strange to be talking about pairing snakes when you still have eggs in the incubator. This is day 59 for clutch number 3. There are no pippers yet, but I'm expecting them to come out either today or tomorrow. Let's just take a quick look inside one of the boxes. Here we go. You can see the eggs are really dimpled in now. So I'm expecting these guys to pip today or tomorrow. There are 8 eggs. All 8 eggs have made full term. There's 3 in another egg box and they look exactly the same. All good and all dimpled in. So we're pairing snakes and we're looking forward to this clutch hatching. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed looking at the snakes. I hope the concept makes sense. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please comment below if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.